Welcome to ECN Trade Daily Video. Before we begin, it should be noted that any advice is of a general nature only and that your personal circumstances have not been taken into consideration.
Hello everyone, my name is Rob Clayton and thank you for joining me. Well, as you can see, the Australian dollar took further tumble and it's just trying to bounce back now, but nevertheless, technicals are still bearish. And therefore, with two consecutive bearish engulfing candles, we may see further down tests. This week, there was updates from the RBA, Governor Michelle Bullock, after noting that the March remains live for another hike, while the Q4 GDP showed the economy expanded 0.8% with the annual growth at 2.6. All eyes now look to the non-farm payrolls with 58,000 jobs added after January's 130. It will be interesting to see because the dollar has been quite bid, the US that is, and the market has been quite negative for some of the currencies as we get into them. Looking at the downside, we could see a move towards 69.70 and maybe even further to 69.35. Any upside attempt still likely to be limited. There is a little bit of divergence here, only on the RSI, but I still feel it's not enough to turn this market around. So the bears still likely to keep in control. The euro still remains vulnerable to the downside and could see a fresh low, that is around the 115 area. Reassess from there because the market is getting a little bit oversold, but the ADX is still trending to a bearish case. Upside attempts likely to be limited around 116.50 to 116.90. Well, you can't tie a ball down, as they say, as the market continues to push higher. But I'm always cautious because you always find that in dollar yen, the market grinds higher, squeezing, and then collapses. It's just doing that again. We've seen it once, twice, and this is the third time. Technicals aren't overly powerful enough to support a bullish case. No trend from the ADX, and again now a bit of divergence forming from the RSI, which does sway to the downside for myself, and if so, could look towards the 156 region, and any advancement towards 158 likely to be limited. Sterling, while still remains vulnerable to the downside as the trend still holds, and still looks towards a potential target of 132.5 and reassess. Commodities, well, the market's still a little bit to the downside in terms of weakness. I could see a move towards the region of 5,116 to 5,085, but keeping in mind that the broad trend that's seen somewhere around 4,755 to 90, and outside that, the top side call for this year, still around 5,500 to eventually 6,000. Oil, well, the market still nudges slightly higher on the day, but I'm still a little bit cautious in case we do see a sharp turnaround. We are extremely overbought, so not too far away. But in the broader call, that is in the next week or so, I feel I need to still continue to monitor this market before any strong calls. That's a wrap. Thank you for joining me. As always, look, have an interesting report, and I hope you enjoyed a great start to the new weekend.